Alright, another video. It has not been a video in good day. I've had so many interruptions. Had to start over several times. Had visitors come in that weren't supposed to be coming in. But the last thing was we were pulling this out, and my batteries died. It just died. So I'm picking it back up again after a charge. You've got it out. Time to cut the wire. Right there. Ta-da. You can get this safely out of the car and out of the way, because you don't want it to fall on the ground. Alrighty. Ta-da. Now, the other thing you're going to have in here is, for the adjustable, there is a circle clip right there. It is on the end of it. Trying to get you some light on it. Alright, that circle clip in here, that's what keeps the steering wheel from coming off. So I use a pick like that, and you might not be able to see it, but anyway, bring it around from close to the end. I get up under it and it'll pop off. Do not lose that. It is very, very important. It holds the steering wheel in when you pull it in and out. That goes in a magnetic tray. Okay, so now the next thing. You want to loosen this as loose as it can be, which is all the way to the right. Remember, these things are reverse threads. To tighten it, you're going to go left. To loosen it, you're going to go right. So get it down to where that's going to slide easy. And then again, it's time to silicroll. I finally saw this. So if you want to get any of this stuff, there's the number. Write it down. I like the 10-ounce cans because they're easier to work in an engine compartment than the great big 16-ounce cans because they're shorter. But anyway, just to make sure all of this is good and can come out. Now, if you're lucky, this thing's going to come right out. If you're not lucky, there's issues with the grooves, and you may have to beat this thing off, and when it's off, you may have to come back and file with a tiny jeweler's file each little groove to get your new wheel on. This one's been off and on, so it does work, but it can be a nightmare. But then it's just a matter of a pull. There you go. It's out, and that's out. This will stay in because that's where this spring cover goes. There's another interruption, and it goes into that cup. Alright, so it's out, and now I gotta stop again. Alright, here's something else you can do. You got the trafficator out now. Ta-da! Now, this one looks good because we've done a rebuild on it. This one you can tell really dirty. Okay, this one's going to come apart and be rebuilt completely, and I'll do a video on that. But if yours is just dirty and you're going to put it back in, it's all been working, here's what you do. This stuff gets gummed up and it doesn't want to cancel, and it doesn't want to work like it should. So right down in here, you want to shoot, you know what this is, WD-40, shoot it all down in there. Let it work its way down in there. Shoot it up here. These are your counselors at the bottom. Shoot them in there. Shoot them in there. Alright, once that gets soaked down, then get you an air gun. What you want to do then, mighty Just blow these out. Do it over a trash can. Then you want to work it back and forth. Make sure everything's working. Let it drip. And that cleaned out the dirt. Makes the contact work better. So when you put it back in, everything will work. And it's a good time just to oil it all up. Then set it off to the side. Because you're not ready for that yet. It's time to do another steering wheel now. Time to change the steering wheel. All right, so now you're ready to put the new steering wheel on. What you want to do before you put it on is you want to test it. The new hubs and stuff got a lot of new paint on them. You want to make sure it's going to go in and out. You don't want to get part way and stuck. You want to find out if you got to cut any of this. You want to make sure your little white mark is straight up, and where you want straight up is straight up. Even if you're off a tooth, you can pull it back later, move it a notch. So the next thing that's got to go in, we're going to put our spring cover, the small end in first, or I should say installation is reversal of removal, just like it always says. Then you've got the spring cover. This cover goes over that. Get the wire through. Ta-da. Alright, keep the furs straight up. Get the wire through. Make sure that is loose. And the loosening is to the right. Makes it easier to compress. In there where you can see straight up. That's it. Now, right here, if you're off a notch or two, I don't even put the circle clip back on, but that right now, because what I'll do is I'll put everything in, leave the circle clip off, go drive it, get it going down the highway or something, so guarantee this is perfectly straight. If it's not perfectly straight, I loosen my 3 screws here, will hold the trafficator, pull it back enough to pull the steering wheel off, turn it a notch if it needed it, back on. Then when that's perfectly straight, then push the trafficator back in. You're going to have slack in that wire. You can move it back and forth. Then you can drop your circle clip in. All right, so that is in. The next thing is going to be is putting the trafficator in. Now you can pause it. All right, we're back. Now, you've secured your feed pull wire to your trafficator wire so it won't come out. You have got this set straight up with a white mark. I left the clip off because I'm never positive if that's perfect. I'll test it and see, and then pull it back and move it a click if necessary. But for right now, this is good enough. So I'm going to show you what to do. If you're confident, go ahead and put the clip in. It's easy, the little circle clip. All right, so now we're feeding. Go ahead, Ben, I'm good. There we go. Got to get that thing into that little bitty tube. Hang on. All right, try pulling a little bit. Must still be too big. Okay. Ugh. You're feeding. Take it away. It's a tight fit, let me tell you. Okay, now we're coming up on it. All right, go ahead and pull. Let me know when you got wire. All right. You can pull on a little bit. What the hell? Oh, that's my hand. Okay. You're heading right in there. Stop. All right, now you're going to find the slot because it's got the groove. This is about impossible to do with one hand and a camera, but I'm gonna try. Gotta make sure. All right, I'm in the slot. That can't be. But we got a loose stator too. Okay, I am still not in the slot. Now I'm in the slot. Okay, now stop there. Let me show you something, people. Critical. This here, right here, that is your counselor. If that is not in that position, then these will never cancel when you turn. That has to be dead center in the bottom. It has notches on it that will allow it to hit those little cams when you turn the steering wheel and cancel it. So before you go any farther, make sure that's straight up and down. If you go in and this thing's at 2 o'clock, the top of it, then you have to loosen the nut down there on the stator tube and turn that. It's a two-man job because that's what holds that straight up and down. So check and make sure that, which ain't got enough light on it, that right there, doing my best. Yeah, that right there is on the dead bottom. This is on the dead top, and you're in the groove. So now you can do this. There it is. It doesn't hit. So what's next? A chiropractor. A daggone good one. You've got your 3, these are Allen heads. It's a Limpert wheel. 3 screws. You have to bring them in. That locks it behind that plate so it won't move. Actually, I'll just tell you this because I can't get my phone over there, but you have 3 of them. You're gonna lock that in. Let me lock it in and put it on pause and lock it in. All right, we've got our screws locked in. So now that's not gonna move at all. It's in there rigid. It will have adjustment in and out. Remember, I did not put my lock ring in, so you can't jerk it out and pull it out of the stator tube, because I may need to move this. Center may end up being a little there, and I may fine tune it by pulling it out and moving it a click. Okay. All right, one last test. Now that you've set that with the cancellations at the bottom, that means for once your trafficator finally is going to cancel as soon as you turn the wheel left to right. So we're going to turn left, blinkety, blinkety, blink, click. All right, we're going to go right, blinkety, 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 blinky, click. Look, cancel out. Most everybody's don't cancel. That's one of the main reasons too. He had a lot of reasons, but this one is the main one. Make sure that's on the bottom, because look, canceled. Bet yours didn't do that. Look, canceled. And again, if you get that straight and this is a little off center, not a problem, because you're going to loosen that nut, can move it over, but he can tighten it. When it's straight up and down, it's straight up and down. You're blinky, blinky, click, you're off as soon as you started turning it. All good. That's all we're going to do today, because it took us 8 hours to shoot 10 minutes. And I'm never going to do one of these again when it ain't a weekend and the doors are closed and a threat of corona inside, where I won't be interrupted. maybe I can get another video done. So hope this helps. What we got to do now, the wire's out. We're going to solder bullets on it. We're going to hook it back up and make it go vroom vroom and test drive it later.